Any single minute, let us start with the inaugural session of this general body. Good afternoon, Suswagatam, Yokar, Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Commission Commissioner of Tamil, Vice President of NIFC, Shri Rajagopalji, our Chief Information Commissioner of Goa, Shri Vishwas Satarkar, all delegates, chief commissioners, commissioners of different states present before me, secretary, under secretary of my commission, staff, other delegates, and friends. Welcome to all. Myself, Sanjay Dawikar, Goa State Information Commissioner. Extremely delighted to be here in front of you on the occasion of inauguration of 15th Special General Body Meeting of National Federation of Information Commissions in India. I am overwhelmed to welcome you all to this culturally and historically rich state that is Goa, one of the most literate and progressive state of India. Welcoming people, guests, dignitaries and all is an inseparable part of our Indian culture and our Goa's culture. It is with great pleasure that I request Shri Vishwas Satarkar, Goa State Chief Information Commissioner, to welcome the gathering. Shri Satarkar is ex-former political leader and a former lawyer, practicing lawyer. He has been MLA of Priol constituency for 2 terms and also was Speaker of the Legislative Assembly for 1 term. Shri Vishwas Satarkar for his welcome speech.
Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Dr. Pramod Sawant, Central Chief Information Commissioner, the President of National Federation of Information Commissioners in India, Sri Y.K. Sinha, Vice President of NFICI, Sri R. Rajagopal, my colleague, Mr. Sanjay Dawikar, Chief Information Commissioners from different states, and SIC representing states, and my dear friends. I am delighted to welcome you all this NFICI meeting in the state of Goa. In fact, my predecessor, Mr. Tendulkar, had invited and agreed to host a meeting in Goa some 2 years back. However, it could not be possible due to the COVID pandemic situation. After the decline of COVID pandemic, when we assembled in Delhi in last month of June this year, it was decided to hold a meeting in Goa. I am thankful to the Board of Governors of NFICI for providing opportunity to us for hosting this meeting in Goa. Though Goa is a very small state in India in terms of geographical area, it carries vast spectrum of cultural practice. It is true that Goa is known for sun, sand and sea, and popular for pristine beaches, temples, churches. However, there is also another aspect of unnoticeable Goa. Goa is blessed with heavy rainfall, next after Cherrapunji of Meghalaya. Goa is also surrounded by 7 rivers and consists of 7 wildlife sanctuaries. You will amazed to hear that 30% of geographical area of Goa is covered with thick forest. Of course, Goa is bounded by Arabian Sea and protected with mountain range of Western Ghats. Coming to the point, NFICI is a body constituted in the year 2009. The main object of NFICI to facilitate coordination and mutual consultation among the Central Information Commission and the State Information Commissions to share the knowledge and experience of the better implementation of the RTI Act. Today, besides the Chief Information Commission, Delhi, 22 states are participating and representing the meeting. Our department is a very small department. With our limited resources, we try to provide the best available accommodation to the delegates as per the requirement of NFICI. Since the International Film Festival of India is commencing from 20th of this month, Goa is flooded with the guests and tourists. As far as Goa State Information is concerned, this commission is consists of 2 members only, 1+1. After taking the charge in the March 2021, despite hurdle of a COVID pandemic situation, we have managed to clear backlog cases. CM sir, today we are in comfortable position and predominantly dealing only with the running cases only. No backlog, no pendency. The commission is also uploading its judgments and orders on our website on daily basis. Dear friends, for the first time we are hosting such a big event in Goa. There might be some deficiency, so please bear with us. We also made arrangement for the field visit in various historic places and particularly to the interior Goa to have enough experience. I hope you will enjoy Goa and take the wonderful memories along with you. Once again, I welcome you all on behalf of Goa State Information Commission and on behalf of people of Goa. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri Vishwas Sadarkar, our Chief Information Commissioner. A warm welcome is never complete without only words. Is never complete with only words. I request Reena to present a bouquet of flowers to Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant. Then I request Kavita to present a bouquet to Chief Information Commissioner of India, Shri Sinhaji. Sumita shall welcome with a bouquet of flowers Shri Rajagopalaji, Vice President of NFICI.
I request Sangeeta to offer floral to Vishwas sir. I request Leela to present flowers to Sanjay Dovika sir.
The Right to Information Act brought in India an important era of information disclosure. Information empowers citizens to get knowledge, to get official, authentic knowledge. Knowledge removes ignorance, just as light dispels darkness. That is why precisely in Indian tradition, any function begins with lighting of lamp. I request Dr. Pramod Sawant, Honorable Chief Minister and other dignitaries to do the honors of lighting the lamp. Thank you all. Goa has the honor of being the second state in the country after Tamil Nadu to pass the Right to Information Act. Goa Legislative Assembly passed the RTI Act on 31st July 1997, much before the Central Act came into force. However, some sections and provisions were objected by activists and also by media then, of which I am a proud member. I come from media background. Being in print as well as in the electronic media for about 3.5 decades, I could see the inception of RTI Act, the agitations for some unjustified provisions in the acts, the then state act, and the privileges given to citizen under the act, and how the act arrived and how the act is being used since the inception. RTI Act was applicable to whole of India after the Parliament passed the Act in 2005, and subsequently state information commissions were set up in each state, and later NFICI, a parent body I would say of all state information commissions, was formed, and presently Shri Sinha ji is the president of NFICI. The host of this conference, National Federation of Information Commissions in India, NFICI, is under the able leadership of Shri Yashwardhan Kumar Sinha. Sir, we are honored to have you here among us. And now I request Shri Sinha to deliver a keynote address. Shri Sinha is an Indian diplomat who belongs to the Indian Foreign Service, former High Commissioner to United Kingdom and Sri Lanka, Indian Ambassador to Venezuela, and Consul General of India to Dubai. He was sworn in as Central Information Commission of India on 1st January 2019. Shri Sinha ji for keynote address. Please.
Dr. Pramod Sawant, Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Shri Rajgopal, Chief Information Commissioner of Tamil Nadu and Vice President of NFICI, Shri Vishwas Satarkar, the Chief Information Commissioner of Goa, Sir Sanjay Jodekar, Information Commissioner of Goa, my distinguished colleagues, fellow Information Commissioners, Chief Information Commissioners of various states, members of the NFICI, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this 15th meeting, the special general body meeting of the NFICI, held in the beautiful state of Goa and in this wonderful land. We are indeed very grateful to the Honorable Chief Minister for gracing this occasion to be with us at this inaugural function. It also shows the commitment that the state of Goa and of course the Information Commission of Goa have towards further strengthening the RTI regime and its effective implementation. If I may, on behalf of all the visiting CICs and ICs, also thank Shri Vishwas Satarkar ji, the Chief Information Commissioner of Goa, and his colleague Shri Sanjay ji and all his other colleagues who have made it possible for NFICI to have this meeting in the beautiful city of Panjim. We are indeed very grateful to all of you for making it time to come for this meeting. As you're aware, the NFICI came into existence around 2010 based on a recommendation by a committee set up by the CIC after its annual convention of 2008. And since then we've had 15 meetings which afford us an opportunity to exchange views and to share best practices, to learn from each other, and of course to try and see how we can strengthen the implementation of this landmark legislation. This legislation is called the Sunshine Legislation because it empowers citizens to be well informed about the working of their government at various levels, at the center, at the state, and at the lower levels too. So I think it's an extremely important piece of legislation which the Parliament of India enacted in 2005. And since then, we are now in the 17th year our existence as a commission, various commissions formed under the Act. And I'm happy to see that the enthusiasm of the people for the RTI Act has not diminished in any way, if I may say so, has even increased. And despite the challenges that we have faced, particularly during the pandemic, during COVID-19, I think all of us have managed to confront and overcome these challenges that were posed through various measures. And if I may mention, sir, also through innovative measures, through the use of information technology, through use of technology available commonly, whether it was through video conferencing or whether it was just the use of the smartphone, which came to our assistance in hearing cases. Perhaps not the best way to hear a case, but when you are faced with a black swan event like the COVID-19 pandemic, you have to innovate. And I'm happy to state that a lot of commissions actually managed to use technology to overcome the problems being faced. We in the CIC were able to adapt quite quickly, and in fact, in the months of June and July of 2020, which was at the height of the pandemic, we were able to dispose of more cases than we did in the same corresponding period in 2019, which clearly shows that the commitment of not only the commissioners who are hearing the cases, but of the public authorities, the PIOs, the First Chapter authorities, and most importantly, the citizens of India, the appellants, to strengthening this regime clearly prevailed over the challenges or problems that we were confronted. And since then, I think most commissions have been able to sort of hear cases, dispose of them, and try and reduce dependency. I'd like to compliment the Goa Information Commission for ensuring that there is no pendency. I wish I could claim that for the Central Information Commission too, but we are certainly heading in that direction. I recall when I took over on the 7th of November 2020, I think we had about 39,000 cases pending with us. Today we have less than 23,000, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we are trying to move in that direction, and I'm sure all colleagues in various state information commissions are endeavoring to do the same. And I think the pendency is a reflection not only of the work that accumulates, but more importantly of the interest that the public has taken in this sunshine legislation. The number of RTIs filed. Of course, you can argue that the number of RTIs filed also reflect the public authorities' inability to disclose information. But I think that is something which is only, I would say, partially true, because a large number of public authorities under Section 41B of the RTI Act have been voluntarily disclosing information as required, perhaps not all the information required, but certainly most of the information required. And we in the Central Information Commission have a way of judging that through a third-party audit that is conducted every year. And the quarterly returns that public authorities are supposed to give to the Central Information Commission, I'm talking about the central public authorities, are compiled and put together annually in a report which the CIC presents before Parliament. In fact, just before I came here yesterday, I had seen the draft that we are going to be presenting, and it will be laid on the table of both Houses of Parliament during the winter session. So that report contains this information on the disposal, on the number of RTIs received, but more importantly on how these public authorities are able to disclose information voluntarily as mandated by the Act. We have also making recommendations to public authorities on how to ensure, or how they can ensure, a better implementation, more effective implementation of the Act. So I think while it is important, and while the legislation itself is among the most sort of talked about legislations that the Parliament has passed recently, it is entrusted on us as commissions, as commissioners who are responsible for the adjudication, for the second appeals and complaints, to ensure that what the Parliament had actually wanted in terms of transparency, accountability, a corruption-free government, what the government has been striving for, we as commissioners are able to try and ensure that information is delivered on time, and that information that should be revealed to the citizen under the Act is actually revealed to them, to the appellants, to the complainants, well, to the appellants in this case, the applicants. So I think it's important that we bear this in mind, and I think NFICI serves that purpose because we get together all the commissioners, commissions from various parts of the country, and we deliberate on the challenges, on the problems facing us, and then we try and adopt best practices that we pick up from the various commissions. And that helps us in streamlining our work, and also helps us in ensuring a timely delivery of information. Because the information is important. Armed with information, a citizen can then seek greater accountability, more justice for issues which involve grievance redressal. And I'm aware that the RTI Act is not meant to be a grievance redressal forum, but in effect, many a time, and I'm sure the state commission would bear me out because they really deal at the grassroots levels, the very fact that a notice is sent by the commission itself serves as a grievance redressal mechanism, perhaps an unintended consequence of the framers of the RTI Act. But having said that, I think we've all gathered here to try and exchange views on how we can better implement the Act, and at the same time share best practices that each one of us can take back and adopt in our respective commissions. With these words, I'd like to once again thank the Honourable Chief Minister for finding time to come and inaugurate this important conference and to address all of us. I'd like to especially thank Shri Vishwas Satarkarji and his colleagues for being a perfect host, for helping us to meet here and to deliberate under a very salubrious environment in your beautiful state of Goa. Thank you, and I'd like to wish all of you very successful and fruitful deliberations. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Overview presented by Shri Sinha ji is very thoughtful and encouraging. We are honored to have among us Shri Krishna Salkar, MLA of Vasco constituency. I would like to request Nancy, Under Secretary, to welcome him with a bouquet of flowers. Thank you, sir, for being with us for the inaugural session. Goa, a tiny state of hardly 15 to 16 lakh of population, entertains more than double of its population, tourists coming all over the year. There is no off season, as we say now in Goa. Earlier we used to have monsoon as off season. Now hotels are always full with number of tourists. Our state was liberated 14 long years after India's independence in 1961. Goa officially became integral part. It was always integral part, but officially became integral part of India in the form of union territory. And in 1987 we became state. We attained statehood. In spite of missing 3 5-year plans of the central government, Goa has recovered from the backlog of development and has recorded enviable performance on most of the indicators. The person who is leading from the front the movement of progress is Dr. Pramod Sawant, the dynamic Chief Minister of Goa. He is on a mission of making our state, a Swayambhurna Goa, part of Atmanirbhar Bharat, by focusing mainly on skill development and creating different new opportunities for the younger generation, for the people who are seeking newer opportunities. I now request Honorable Chief Minister to